Hello, everyone. Welcome back after a long hiatus. We'll get into that during this podcast, but welcome back to the Collector's Corner. I'm Preston. This is Patrick.
We're
I
back.
hope you're joining us for the first time,
Yeah.
or maybe you're one of our returning members. This is episode 5. We've done a couple of these. Took a little break while we were finishing our product line, but we're
Mhm.
done.
Mhm.
We're going to show them to you. You can check
Whew.
them out on our website right now, discgolfgradingauthority.com. But because we've been gone for like 3 months, Patrick, we have a lot of things to talk about. We'll kind of
There's
hit the highlights
so
tonight.
much to talk
So
about.
much. Whew. All right. So, if you're not familiar with Collector's Corner, just a little brief introduction. Patrick and I run a disc golf grading authority. We'd love to grade your collectors, high-end collectors discs. We also have a display option, spoiler alert, that we'll be talking about tonight.
Alerts.
But we're going to try at least once a month, maybe twice a month, to be bringing you these Collector's Corner episodes talking about the collector's side of disc golf. What's hot, what's dropped, what the heck are the prices doing? Are you getting scammed online? What to look for? All sorts of fun stuff. We've had some really cool guests. We're working on lining up a couple more as well. So, yeah, welcome to episode 5, Premium and
Episode
Display.
5. Whew.
Episode 5.
All right, let's just jump into the Market Watch segment. So we put together like a little sheet about what we're going to talk about, and I just put under Market Watch so many zones.
So many.
That was the first bullet. So many zones. So we have a new zone now. The highly requested Zone OS, Zone Overstable, the Overstable Zone. It was released a few months ago in the test flight, and then we had the protos and then the first runs, which we'll get into those, and then we've seen the Brody Tour Series.
Yeah.
So there's been several releases, obviously since the last podcast, but yeah, Zone OS. I've thrown one. It is very OS.
The OS is
It's
capitalized for a reason.
capital OS. After Zone.
Yeah. Some hot takes from Jacob in the chat saying Zone OS greater than Zone. I had one in my bag for a whole round, threw it like 3 times, and decided that my local courses don't really have a use case for the Zone OS just yet in my life. But Pat, you and I, we have a fun, unique little 2 sides of the anecdote for the Zone OS first runs, particularly the beefs. So I'm going to spin around in my spinny chair and grab mine. You'll grab yours.
I'm going to grab mine. So to give a little bit of context, this is my stack of Zone OSs.
Are you bagging it?
I don't currently bag one.
Chat, if you need a Zone OS, hit up Patrick. Patrick, why do you have so many Zone OSs?
No, don't hit. These are mine. Don't hit me up.
For why?
They're all mine. For just to feed the addiction. You guys know. Feed the addiction. I have a rainbow. Anyways,
that's absurd.
The common theme between them is not that they all say first run Zone OS. It's that they all say 4215 in the flight numbers. And the reason this stack is so tall is because most of the Zone OSs say that. They say the flight numbers. However, if you are fortunate enough to be quick online in a raffle or in a bidding war, or maybe perchance find one at your local shop, or your Preston Disc Golf Grading Authority co-founder Kuna, and you order one from, who'd you order that one from?
Man, you tell your anecdote and I'll tell mine. You just tell them how you got your Zone OS.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'll tell mine first. So I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and this is an unashamed plug, and we're not sponsored by them. Maybe next time, but DFW Disc Golf spot over there in Dalworthington Gardens, run by a very good friend of mine, Devi. He always looks out for me. He sends me pictures of stuff, and I saw he posted on his Facebook page, I've got these new Zone OSs, and I was looking, and I zoomed in. I was like, wait a minute.
Enhance.
Enhance, enhance. I don't know if y'all can see this. It doesn't say the flight number. It says
Move it
capital
over.
B E E
Yeah.
F. Beef. So they released. I don't remember what the exact number was. Do you remember? It was 18, maybe percent,
Yeah, I
maybe
can check
less.
while you're talking. Let me
So
do a little look.
a small percentage of the first run Zone OSs say beef in the flight numbers, which is super cool. That's the first time I believe, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, that we've seen anything like that where they put words or something fun in the flight number area instead of flight numbers. And it says beef. I only have two. I have this one. Let's see. I think the other one. There it is. I thought it was on the shelf, but it's not. Oh, this one looks even better. It's a blue. Bam. There it is. Beef. It's crazy. So that's how I got mine. My friend Debbie at DFW Disc Golf Store in Arlington. He only got two in his order. So he gets, orders from Discraft and they sent him stacks and stacks of Zone OSs. And he only had two and I got them both. Jacob in the chat, 8%.
Yeah, I can confirm.
8.
He's correct. 8% of the first runs, I believe. So a tiny amount of Zone OSs. And Patrick, the method that you've described, right, what I'll call like the local game shop, right, where you have your
Local.
local disc golf shop, and
Yeah.
if you show up, like the Play It Again Sports in Austin that I go to, they have a similar mentality. I asked him once. I said, "Hey, do y'all?" Because I was just chatting, right, with the guy
Mm-hmm.
there that knows disc golf. I said, "Do y'all change your pricing based on like collectability?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Nope, it's first come first serve. We take a used disc. If it's a PFN Destroyer, six
There
ninety
it
nine goes in
I
the bin."
respect that so much about
I mean, it
retail
brings in
stores.
customers, right? It
It
makes me
does.
go every
Yeah.
time.
It's like
Um,
you go, you play the lotto a little bit, you hope to
yeah,
find a gem.
super fun. And that is the way I have gotten any of my like non secondhand collector's discs, right? It's either Facebook
Mm.
or it's a disc shop. This time was different and it's magical. So I bought two Zone OS first runs, just like straight off the website
Yeah,
when they
2.
when they dropped.
That's how many
There
we
they
all
are. They're
bought.
beautiful. Mine are a little puddle topped. They're absolute monsters. They're threw one once. And then I just opened my package. Didn't do anything. OTBdiscs.com. Shout out. Thanks so much,
Shout out
guys.
OTB, sponsor
But
us.
oh, that'd be cool. But I got a Beef Zone OS.
Oh, man.
And it was just an totally unique. We've been playing disc golf for like, I don't know, 11, 12 years, collecting discs for 4 or 5 years. And this is the first time in my life that I've like pulled something and it was, I mean, I guess technically it's just a different stamp, right?
Yeah, but
But
it's
like,
like it's the hot stamp, man.
yeah, it's
That's the
super
one.
cool. It's like the
Yeah,
hot stamp.
8%.
So
8%.
8%, super awesome. That was just a very unique collector's disc golf experience for me. Having that randomly show up, you could have bought them if you were really fast. They did get listed online. There
Yeah.
were some listings from secondhand retailers, and official retailers, of course, for the beef zones. But so the beef zone OS, super cool. It's just an aesthetic difference, right? But
Yep.
a
It's the
really
same
neat,
same run.
really
And you
neat.
can still find them. This is the Market Watch. So let's talk about the market. There, you can still find them on. There's a number of Facebook pages, where you can post like ISO looking for a beef zone, and you'll get
Sure.
quite a few of them. And I hate to use the words affordable or cheap or expensive because everyone has a different situation. Everybody thinks of different things when they see those, but it's not terribly high priced. We're talking under $50 if you want to get a beef zone OS. And if you're going to throw one, I would just go for the regular one,
Oh
unless you
yeah.
just want a little clout on the course, by all means. But for collecting, not a bad grab.
All right, Patrick. I'm gonna share my screen. We were pulling up. I was pulling up pictures of all the different zones. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
look at my Google search here. Was just Discraft Zone the official Discraft website for Discraft Zone? Is this like ancient collector zone? Look at this thing. You click on it. You go to their webpage. You get the single number, right? Chat.
Yes.
So
Yes.
old, small circle Pro D, Discraft Zone.
Bro,
I wish that this shop button actually let you buy that zone. I'd
that
buy one. That's
zone.
sick.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I'd
But
buy a couple of those.
it does not. So let's
Oh
stay in
man.
this shop for a second and talk about a couple of the other zones that have popped up. Obviously, all of the tour series dropped, right? So we
Yep.
got Brody Smith's Zone OS. Um, they're nice. That's the one I bagged. I have a tour series Zone OS that I'm throwing, and
Hype
like
in the
I said,
chat.
not sure
Check
it's
it
gonna
out.
stick,
Look,
but
I got a
very cool.
freaking creamsicle, Wonder Bread on creamsicle.
Oh, let me show it off. Hold on. There
Yeah,
you
show it
go.
off. Let the people
Dang, that
see.
looks exactly like that Adam Hammis one I'm about to throw up on screen.
Yeah.
Regular zone, bottom stamp, Adam Hammis. I thought this was cool, right? Brody's had the zone for a while.
He really has.
He's had to get free
Yeah.
keys, right? Like 3 different runs of get free keys. He had to get sneakies. He had the dark horse zones. He's had a lot of different zones.
Bunch of
So
zones.
I think the Zone OS was a really cool opportunity to kind of move him.
And shout
And
out Adam Hammis
yeah,
for taking the zone down as his Tour Series disc this year. That's really cool.
big. It's big. It's big. Um, Kind of staying on Adam Hammis, another big collector drop recently was the 1105 round. You can see here they're a little sold out, but
Not too sold
big
out
deal.
because your boy's got a money stamp.
You can get it, yeah, you can get a couple of colors, but stars on black is always going to sell out pretty quick. Let me see your money stamp. Throw that back up, Patrick.
I'll throw it up. There it is. Money stamp.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah,
You can
I
still
like it.
get
It's simple
some of them.
stamp. It's the bottom stamp, which I kind of like. Rate 1105 rated round at Memorial. Adam Hammis. It's on a wasp, not a zone, but
I was tempted to make a bottom stamp counter in the middle of the screen today. Discraft going crazy. I don't know if they
yeah,
switched over all their machines, but all the Tour Series stuff, bottom stamped.
bottom stamps.
These Memorial ones, bottom stamped.
Bottom stamps.
Which other one was I looking at? And I was like, holy smokes, it's all bottom stamped. Oh, there was a first run ESP Venoms that dropped, bottom
Mm.
stamped. Not Tour Series, just normal. So
Normal.
I don't know. Patrick, do you have a preference? Bottom stamp, top stamp for like collector's discs?
For collector's discs, I don't have a preference. I think that it really just depends on what the disc is. I don't have many. I have the Brody Zone OS, the Tour Series, a couple
Yeah.
of those, and then I have the Hammer's 1105. I may have
Okay.
a couple. There's some destroyers that I have that are bottom stamp, and I know those are a little popular.
Do you
There's some
have
folks
a bottom stamp in a box?
bottom stamp in a box. I don't.
Okay. Chat,
But bottom stamp discs are totally gradable. Please send them to us. We'd love to
Heck yeah.
grade them for you.
and that's kind of what I was getting at here. I agree with you. I like the bottom stamps, but in the
Mhm.
past for collectors, they've been a little bit difficult. They're hard to display.
Yeah, because
You'll notice a lot.
wall
Most of
hanger.
my discs, most of Patrick's discs, they're on the walls. Hanging your discs has kind of been the go-to method for displaying your discs in the past. And so with bottom stamp discs, the Sexton Firebirds, right? The LVC Firebirds are all bottom stamped every year. But they're big money. They're like 200, 300 collectors. So a lot of people are just leaning them like in a cupboard or a display case or something. You just kind of lean them up. But with our new display boxes and premium graded boxes, you can actually show off top stamp or bottom stamp discs. So
Yeah.
it's one of those features I'm really proud of. And apparently, Discraft is just joining forces with us. They're going to make everything bottom stamp now, and you'll have to use our display cases. Awesome.
Speaking of Firebirds, let's jump into Firebirds, into the conspiracy theory hole that is the 2023 Tour Series, or the 2023 Glow Sexton Firebird. Give us a little. Let's back up. Give us a little history, Preston. Preston
Okay.
is definitely the Sexton Firebird knowledge
Enthusiast.
well, but
We'll go with
enthusiast. He's
enthusiast, yeah.
enthused.
No.
He's enthused.
So sure, the controversy this year, there was an April Fool's Day drop, right? I'll pull up a picture of it as we're talking. If you haven't seen it yet, it's unique.
Yeah, that's
I'll
a good
say
word.
that. It's
That's
very
great.
unique.
Very unique.
But some people online are pretty sure that it is the 2023 Tour Series. So this is what it looks
There it
like.
is.
It's literally a sketched drawing. by Nate Sexton. He posted in the
Yep.
Sexton Firebird group a picture of him with his sketch. So he drew this beautiful artwork with pencil, and then it got turned into a stamp. And then they produced some of them and released them on April Fool's Day. Really cool. I love this, right? That Innova has done this several times with different discs. They
Mhm.
did a Paul Macbeth April Fool's Day disc as well back in the day when he was on Team Innova. The only reason, Patrick, that I think this is generating even slight rumors that this could be the 2023 is because right now in disc golf there is there are waves of people, right? You have generations of
Yeah.
people, and Sexton's collectible Sexton Firebirds have only been around since 2015. So we're talking like, I don't know, not too long, that 8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
So COVID is half of that. Your COVID golfers are half of that time period.
That's true. Yeah,
It's been a
I never
while.
it's been a long time now since COVID, I guess.
And if you, depending on when you started, you're used to the Sexton Firebirds dropping at different times. So some people are
Mhm.
saying, "Oh my gosh, they're not dropping Sexton Firebirds. All the other tour series are out. This has got to be it. This is the 2023." And then the more experienced Sexton Firebird collectors and enthusiasts are jumping in and saying, "Hey, whoa, slow your roll here."
Yeah.
Sometimes, once or twice, it has dropped in May, but typically it drops much later after the rest of the tour series discs. Some people like to make comments about how if they dropped it before the tour series discs, none of the other players would make any money because all of the Innova fanboys would only buy
Oh,
Sextons.
man.
Um, and then the last little snippet I'll throw in on this April Fools was at the beginning, people were thinking it was going to be crazy limited
Mm.
because it's like a 1 day drop, right? It's supposed to just be an April Fool's Day. But now there's all these other rumors swirling. If you look around in the forums and things, you'll see people speculating that it's actually just stamped 2022s. That it's not any different.
Ooh, I hadn't
Um,
heard that one.
yeah, there's a lot of people saying that it's
Oh.
leftover 2022s that they didn't get to sell, so they just stamped them with
Oh,
this April
man.
Fool's Day stamp and pushed them out, which would affect. So I'm not going to dive off into the deep end. I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to give myself 30 seconds. Sextons are double collectible, which is why they're so money. They're collectible because they're limited, and then they're collectible because people like to throw them. And each year, right, differs in both.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some are
Different
more
years of
collectible,
Sextons. Well,
some are more
well,
throwable.
their collectability varies and their throwability varies, and
Yeah.
so people really like how certain Sextons fly. And so, like
Mhm.
Nate Sexton himself bags the 15 because it's his favorite throwing disc. It's his
Yeah.
favorite throwing Sexton. He's not just laughing at all of us in our poorness and being like, "Ha, I cashed for 15 years straight." Shout out Nate Sexton and his awesome cash streak that died.
Boop.
R.I.P. But that's the end of my 30 seconds. So
Okay, so
that's
let me follow up to 2 things.
sure.
2 thoughts I had about that. First, go back to that eBay page that you pulled up a second ago.
Yeah.
Just for all the viewers, that price is whack.
Yeah, don't buy
So
that. Don't buy that.
right
You can get them for
now,
like
you
$30
can
right
get
now
them
on
for like
Facebook.
$40, 45 shipped. Um,
There was a waffle, uh 11 spots, $3 a
there you
spot,
go.
shipped,
There you go.
$33. You could have bought every spot.
Yeah. So don't be spending $100 on April Fool's
Mm-mm.
Firebird. The other thing I heard a rumor, and it's completely uh rumor. I was reading a thread on Facebook and it said that someone was watching a practice round with Sexton and Big Germ,
Mhm.
and Big Germ pulled out an April Fool's Firebird to throw, and Nate said, "Hey, yeah, I really like um this year's tour series. They fly really well."
Yeah.
I
So,
heard that. That's what I heard.
yes.
I heard
Yes,
somebody
yes, yes.
say that.
Yeah. So what there is some room for in the rumor, right, is that these could be early release, what we would consider to be first release
Mm,
2023 with an April Fool's Day stamp, where it would be the same mold that's coming out,
same mold, different stamp.
different stamp. It's totally possible until we get to 2023 and we have some brave souls that are willing to throw consistently a 22, a 23 April Fools, and a
And
23
then
tour.
23, yeah.
Then we'll get some feedback from the community to say, hey, does this fly more like a 22 or more like a 23? I will note that oftentimes the Sexton community, because so enthusiastic, and Nate Sexton is kind of his brand is the people's golfer,
Mhm, yeah.
sometimes they do get more information as collectors than most collector groups. So sometimes Innovo will actually respond in our Nate Sexton collectors page and respond to things like, what is this stamp called when they drop new stamps?
That's true.
Like new
Yeah.
new stamp patterns, I guess. And then also I've seen them drop numbers for like, hey, can you give us a little bit of information of the release numbers so that okay,
Mhm.
I have a first drop of the Sextons this year. How rare is that? What should the pricing be like? So we'll
Yeah.
see what kind of information we get. We'll definitely keep a pulse on it, but guys, don't buy them for $100 on
No,
eBay.
well, I was gonna say that one final thought about that in the Market Watch arena. This is a great price to buy it at because if the rumors are true and this is it, you paid $40 for one, it's gonna go up. If this is the same mold and the Innova comes out and says that, like, hey, that was an early release, the price is
Yep.
gonna go up.
Yeah.
Because then it's limited to the April Fools. And if they say no, that was just April Fools, it's probably going to stay at $40. I mean, I don't think it's going to drop. They're Sextons. They do hold their value fairly well. It might drop a little bit. You might find some more in the neighborhood of
Just
$30
hang on to
shipped,
it.
whatever.
For $30, throw it.
It's still a Sexton Firebird. It's a
Yeah.
great disc. So now is a great time to buy them. It's a
Sure.
great price for them.
Because I mean, a normal like Tour Series disc right now is like $25. So
Yeah.
$5 shipping. There
Easily.
you go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was looking at my collection the other day, at my beautiful wall, which someone told me the other day. I didn't realize that looks like the state of Oklahoma. So I'll need to do a little work on that. But I noticed that I didn't have any Nate Sexton Firebirds, and I feel like I might catch some heat for this, but I feel like a good disc golf collection, you got some of the staples, and I feel like a Sexton Firebirds are staples. So I started buying them, and I got a couple of them in some grading packages. Got one of those guys. I got another one around here somewhere, but then got this old 2017. Got it in our new premium box. We'll go over this a little bit later after this, but these are the premium boxes. This is what it looks like. And I got my 2017 in there. I was really excited to get this disc. Look how nice it looks on the camera. Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Super clean. Looks great. I got a very fair price for it from the seller. Got the disc. It came in the mail for a 2017 Sexton with the red shatter stamp. You're paying between 75 and $100, just
Sure.
depending on the seller.
Yep.
When I pay that much for a disc, I want the disc to come to my house in a box.
Oh my
If I'm
goodness. Did
paying
it show
that
up in a
much
bubble
money,
mailer?
it showed up in a bubble mailer.
No.
Wait for it. And that was it. There was
No
nothing else in the bubble.
cardboard.
No cardboard backing. It was just in a bubble mailer.
You totally left this detail out.
It
Oh
showed
my
up in the
goodness.
mail. I was so scared.
Chat. Don't be this person. We're not going to name names or
We're not
anything.
gonna name
But
them. We're
look,
not
I
gonna
made a
flame them.
YouTube video. Go
We're not
to
gonna
our
drag
channel.
them.
I'm going to link the other video somewhere. I made a video on all the packaging methods, and I even said, here's roughly the price point at which you should stick discs. And I said for any disc at all, never just a bubble mailer. Just
Yeah.
recycle a piece of cardboard and
Yeah.
stick it in there. It's free.
I know all you guys are buying discs from Ledgestone, from Discraft. They're showing up in boxes. You have cardboard. Just cut out the bottom of the box, put it in the bubble mailer. I sell used discs all the time. People pay me $8 for a disc. I ship it to them. I put cardboard in the mailer.
Yeah.
It's just what you do.
Dude, that's crazy.
So it showed up in a bubble mailer, no
Oh, my
cardboard backing.
word.
I take it out of the box. There's these little dots on the stamp that I should have seen that. He sent me a picture of the stamp. I could have zoomed in, seen the dots. He didn't say anything about it.
Did you go back and zoom in on the picture?
I did, and I could see the dots.
Okay, cool.
So that's on me. That's on me.
Yep.
I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, man, I'm never aggressive in my messaging. I feel like it's wrong. So I messaged him like, hey, man, this showed up in a bubble mailer, for this amount of money. I would really have liked to see it in a box. And he was super apologetic. He's like, look, I've never sold discs before. I've had these for a while and I just needed some extra cash. It's the first time I've shipped a disc, my bad. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. I totally understand. I kind of gave him the spiel, like, look, anything over 25, $30, I'm going to ship in a box. If it's cheaper than that, I usually send a bubble mailer with cardboard backing minimum. Sometimes I'll double sleeve the cardboard, sandwich it. And so he was really like apologetic about it. Like, look, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to post this up on Facebook, drag it through the mud. The disc showed up and it's in great condition. It's just fine. So we're going to just compare that to today, which I'm excited.
Did you get another one? Oh, snap.
I haven't even opened it.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Which
waited.
one?
I
Which
waited
one?
till
Which
today.
one?
I'll show you. I'll show you which one. I had scissors. Hold on. I had a big plan to do.
Chat, Patrick's sad story of his sexton is an excellent reason why someone might do our standard grading, right? Standard grading for that price of disc makes a lot of sense. It's like $35 or whatever. It'll come back in a sealed bag, so you don't have to worry about the cardboard rubbing on the face of the disc.
There it is.
It'll get graded, which will make it way easier for someone like Patrick or like you to just see and be like, oh, look, the stamp got Pat. What'd the stamp get on your disc?
The stamp on this one got an 8.5.
Yeah, so immediately you're like, okay, it looks really nice. Why is it 8.5? And that's what makes you zoom in.
Yeah.
And then boom, now you see the defects.
Now 100%.
You know. We're at this point, we're grading our own discs for promotional pictures and such. We're not selling them. That way they're just as objective.
Yeah.
One day we'll get to grade our own when we have hired graders that can grade ours anonymously. But for right now, while we are doing the majority of the grading ourselves, it's really the premise though. This is exactly what it's for.
This is what it's for. And that's what I told him. I was like, hey, this is who I am. I run this company. This is exactly why, you know, it just is going to give you a little bit more confidence in buying these expensive discs on the internet without seeing the disc first.
And selling, man. I mean, like, I'm glad that you're nice, right? But 2 mistakes is kind of the point where someone might start blowing up. That's a weird color, Pat.
So this disc was in a box and it's in a bubble wrap sleeve and it's in a thick collector bag.
Okay, don't flip it yet. Don't flip it. Let me look at the back still. Okay, so it's obviously not an LVC. That's a weird blue, man. That's not seafoam green.
It's more seafoam green than it looks. I can see in the video.
Yeah,
it's a darker blue. It's definitely more seafoam green than it appears.
Color accuracy issues.
Yeah, we are. It's
not a 15. Never has color accuracy issues. This is gonna be the episode where I just keep pushing. Disc Golf Grading Authority does it. Hey, very nice. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's a Red Shatter 22?
It is. It is a Red Shatter 22.
That was one of the t-shirt ones, right?
It was. Yeah, it was one of the t-shirt ones. He gave me an offer for this and the t-shirt. I was like, I don't know. I kind of just want the disc right now. Cool. It's in great condition. He sent me, I was a little more detailed about my questions, which I also advise you to do. I said, can you send me a close-up of the stamp? Let me see a picture of the back, picture of the profile. And it paid off. It looks really, really good. Wonderful condition. So
heck yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Happy
so now you've got, you said a 17, a 22.
I have a 17, let me see what I got. Let me see. I got another one. What year is this one? Got a 17, a 20, 21, 22.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
They're all Red Shatter.
Hey, if you're just feeling like a big baller one of these days, 17s are supposed to fly really nice. People like those. 17s and 18s.
We'll see.
Fly.
We'll see. I don't know.
Nice.
I'm really proud of my. Let's take a look. Let's talk about this. It's time. Here we go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chat. This is the premium disc golf grading box, right? So it's mounted in clear acrylic. So Patrick, show us the back. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. If this was an LVC Firebird, we'd just mount it in reverse. Our mounting is with a slightly translucent plastic ring. So it actually gets press fit on there. It's not going to rotate on you in the box. It's not going to fall off. That way the box can be sealed, but you don't have to worry about.
So this one is not sealed. So just so I can show y'all an example.
Yep.
But yours will be sealed on there. So there it is.
Heck yeah.
Doesn't come off.
Boom. Magic. Doesn't hurt your disc, right? I was showing it to a friend. And he said, what if it gets really hot? And I looked at him and I said, if you send us a disc that's worth hundreds of dollars and then you leave it in your car, that's kind of on you. But the good news is, frankly, that because it's a circle that's the same inner diameter as your discs, you shouldn't actually damage anything if it gets hot. If anything, it will actually make your circle a little more circle shaped. Don't do
Good.
it though.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
heat
leave
it
it
up.
in your car.
Don't
Don't
heat it up.
don't do that.
Um,
So
but
that's
yeah,
the
then we have the
premium.
same amount of information on our stamp. It's split up into
Mhm.
two triangles, just like our new standard is, where you've got the grade for each of the categories: flight plate, true, stamp, and rim, and then the total overall grade. So this one got a 9, and then it'll be the exact weight. We'll weigh it, and then the model description, the mold description of the disc. So that's what our premium looks like. It's $45 on our website. It's live right now. That does not include shipping, so make sure that you're aware of that when you place your order, guys. It's a
I
price point that we have done on purpose. The premium boxes are nice. It's an
yeah.
expensive box. We've kept the materials high end. The
Mhm.
process is lengthy. The fitting is custom. We have learned that it's not just custom to your mold. It
Oh my
also has to be
goodness.
custom to your plastic.
Disclaimer,
Um,
plastic, the run,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
They do not fit across the board. So we actually are going to 3D print you your own circle custom for your disc measured to the ID.
Yep.
And then get it back to you, and then it will be in this impenetrable acrylic box, and it's awesome. So it
It
really is
looks
for those triple
fantastic.
digit discs, in my opinion. You've got a
Yeah,
collector's discs where you think the value is at about $100 or more, and then I think the $40 grading makes a lot of sense.
totally worth it.
Should increase the sellability, right? The collectability of your disc, just because it gives someone else the confidence of knowing that they won't have those tough Facebook experiences, that it
Mhm.
will have the quality they're looking for. And you
Yeah.
can't ship, well, don't ship that in a bubble mailer. It would be
Don't
really
you
hard. It's
don't.
in a box already.
It's not a challenge.
Yeah.
I did a thing without telling you. There is a discount code live right now. DGGA 10 will get you
What?
10% off until the end of June. It's live till the end of June.
Heck yeah.
DGGA 10 will get you 10% off.
Patrick, in
So,
our next podcast, I will facilitate it. In our next podcast, we are going to pick who we think will win the next tourney. And if they win, we'll do like 20% off. It'll be some crazy discount.
maybe we'll do their total score percent off.
Whoa, dude. All right, we'll look at it. We'll look at
So,
the tournament. Sometimes that's like 40 under.
oh yeah, that's true. Should we do
We'll
it?
see, chat. We'll
Let us
see.
know,
We'll see. Let
chat.
us know
Let
in the
us
comments.
know.
What do you want it to look
Ah,
like? Do you want us to pick the winner? Do you want you guys to vote in the comments on the winners? We could do a poll.
we
We'll
could take a
figure it out.
poll. Yeah.
Um, but
So
I'm gonna
again,
switch over to the
oh,
website,
yep.
unless you're gonna show me in person.
Well, I was just going to review. So that was the premium, and then the
Yep.
standard is it has the exact same information on the stamp. And when we tell people about, well, they're like, well, which one do I need to do? If I'm going to keep the disc, display it, or like Preston said, if it's one of those really pricey discs, 2015 sextants, that kind of thing, premium every time. If you are getting quite a few discs graded to sell, or even to display, and it's one that you just love, go for the standard option. It's if you're selling discs, this is you're confirming, you're showing people like, hey, this is the actual grade, this is what it really is, and then we'll give you the grade, and they can ask you, oh, why did it get that and the stamp, why did it get that grade on the rim, that kind of thing.
Or if you have a ton, we have a bulk discount on the
We
standard.
do. On the standard, there's like a 5 disc
Yeah,
bundle you
where
can
you
get,
you
save a
basically
little
buy 4
money.
get 1 free.
Hmm.
And so I know a lot of us out here have stacks of discs,
Stacks of
and
stacks.
so ends up being great. Patrick, I put my 2016 in a premium box, basically the first one that we
Hey,
ever premium boxed. Um,
hey. Well, you
and
just got 9.5.
yeah, it was nice, man. That was
Oh.
nice. We'll see what it gets when we have objective
We'll get them all
random graders
regraded.
in the
Yeah.
future. But um, one of the things that I love is that now it's here. This is a
Mhm.
disc that I have never had out. It has always been in a bag on a shelf. Um,
Yeah.
and I understand that might stay true with some, like the pink sextons, they lose their pink if you keep them out in the light too much. But now it's so fun. I have friends that got into disc golf during COVID and are getting into collecting now, and they want to see my cool discs. And I can now just hand them my Sexton Firebird
And then the
because they
box.
can't
Yeah.
scratch it and they can't drop it and they can't mess it up. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it's human proof, right? I wouldn't give it to a child, but it's adult human proof.
Mhm.
And that's been something that I didn't even think of when we were thinking about these premium discs. That's been really fun. It's gotten my collection out of the box, off of the shelf, into a premium box, and now I can show it to people, I can hand it to people, I can put it on a table. Because some of these, the limited runs are awesome because they're so collectible. But as someone that just loves the sport, it makes me happy to be able to show and share limited
Yeah.
runs with other people,
Yeah.
right? Be
That's
able to
the
look
point. I
at
mean, it's a
them.
unique stamp or like it's a unique
Yeah,
blend of plastic and yeah. It's not something you just want on your shelf all the time.
very true, very true, very true.
But
All
what
right, guys.
about oh, we're just going where are we doing? Website or you want to
Yeah,
do
I'm gonna
the
go over to the website. I'm gonna
let's
go over to
do
the
it.
website. So the reason that it's taken us so long to do our podcast is because we have been working on finalizing all of our different services, and we're done.
It's done. It's
We
ready.
now have DGGA Premium that we just showed you, DGGA Standard that we just showed you, and DGGA Display.
Whoop whoop.
So DGGA Display is the same box as the Premium, but it's not graded and it's not sealed. So this is an excellent option if you have a disc that isn't going to grade well, but you would love to be able to display in this 100% acrylic, like
Yeah.
surround vision, locked in there, custom fit box. Okay. So for example, these these 4 claw undertakers that I have, they're awesome. I'm super pumped about them. I got a pair for Patrick and I to congratulate ourselves on launching DGGA. But they do have some stamp defects. They're not going to grade super great, but they're really memorable because they were commemorating the launch of our business.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great option for this.
Yeah. Or
An
like
ace disc. It's
yeah,
going
you
to be
see on
gross.
Facebook, what do I do with my I just aced with this, so I leave in the bag, should I take it
Yeah.
out? You know,
It's
you don't want
inked
to get
up
it
because your whole
graded.
card signed it.
Yeah.
It's thrown, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, it has smacked the chains really hard once.
Oh
And so it's
yeah.
probably not going to grade well. But these boxes are a great way, a great alternative to shadow boxes. And we have kept the price ridiculously low.
Yep.
I defy you in the comments to find a real seller doing full acrylic disc display boxes with
Yeah.
mounting for 25 bucks.
And you can't tell in
Um,
the picture, but these are thick boxes. It's not really flimsy plastic. It's five
yeah, it's five
millimeter thick
millimeters, five
in
millimeters
all
thick walls.
directions. Yeah.
Yep. They're
It's a
hefty.
hefty old box. So it's a great option. Like Preston said, if you have a disc that you've just loved and it's ready to retire, but you don't want to just stick it in a box, like in a cardboard box in your closet or put it on a shelf, we would love to. And like he said, it's also not sealed. It
That's right.
will have the custom mounting frame mounted on the back plate. I have an example here, but we're on the website. I don't know if we can switch back and forth. Oh, there we go. So this is one. This is a 5 claw or a 6 claw.
6.
Pardon me, Luna. That was signed by Paul. So, like we said, it's not sealed. The DGA display won't be sealed. So I've taken it out of the box. And let's say that I've hung it up on the wall. I've showed it to people, and then I get a different Luna
Yeah.
that I want to display. It comes right off. If you pull it, like we said, it won't shake off. But if you pull on it, it'll come off. And then in the DGGA display option, I could choose to put another Luna on there. It has to be the same mold because those frames are custom printed for that mold. So it would have to be another Luna. Probably it would have to be a 6 claw because all Lunas are not made the same. We have
They
figured this
sure aren't. Yeah.
out. But yeah, you have that option. So you're paying a really fair price for a great looking box that you can use for many discs.
Yep. One of the things that I love about it, Pat, is it's great for those of us that really get pigeonholed, right? Like Chris we had on last episode who loves Lunas.
Yeah, he
Get this man
does.
2 or 3 Luna display boxes and his
Yeah.
whole wall could just shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could all be really beautiful and he could throw in bottom stamps, top stamps, etc.
No
If it's a bottom
stamps.
stamp, you could just flip the box around. It's not that hard. It's clear all the way around. You still be able to see it. Um, or there's lots of us that just collect tons of Firebirds, right? And so you can swap
Yeah.
out your Firebirds, different stamps, different years. Um, you can just whatever your disc of choice is. Maybe you're like Patrick and you have a stack of Zone OSs for
Ayo.
whatever reason. You can make a full-on rainbow display. So that is DGGA display. We're really pumped, guys. I've had a couple people that I've talked to about it warn me and say, hey, you're gonna sell out of your boxes doing DGGA display, and then you won't be able to do premium. Give us that problem.
Yeah,
We'll take
we'd
it.
love that.
We'll deal with it.
100%.
We'll
100%.
pay for some expedited shipping. So That is DGGA display. DGGA standard, we've shown you, we've explained. It's really the bread and butter of what we do. Just to reiterate, it's objective grading based on standard parameters where the weightings are fixed. We've got a code that ensures that we count everything the same way every time. It's graded by two different people. The grades have to be within a certain tolerance to be accepted. And those graders aren't the buyer or the seller. It's why we're not selling any of our own graded discs.
Yeah.
So it gives you the peace of mind knowing that the person grading the disc isn't the one trying to get your money, which is nice.
Yeah.
And that comes in at $30. It comes in a sealed bag, right? All of our graded discs are sealed to increase
It
the
will get
security.
shipped to you in a box.
Yeah, it will. But you also have to ship us your disc. So your shipping is also going to be a little bit more expensive with grading. But the value of the disc goes up. So I think the examples we've got here are pretty dang good. A 2-line AJ Destroyer, a great option. It's right at that price point where I'm like, that's like, Pat, what would you say? Like an $80 disc, $70?
It really just depends. There's actually, I don't want to get real deep into this. There's actually a few different runs of the 2 lines and the 3 lines and how they were penned.
That's true.
But
The Star DS and stuff.
Just depending on the quality of the disc, we're looking anywhere between 40 and 90 for a 2 line, maybe a little more if it's just super clean, crisp.
Sure. And I think that's the perfect price point for the DGGA standard.
Yeah.
And then for anything, if you're a big boy collector, if you're a whale, if you're selling a lot, DGGA 5-disc bundle, you can even drop that price down for yourself. You'll also save a bunch on shipping. So not only are we giving you a discount on the grading service, but you'll also save a bunch on what it costs you to ship to us and what we charge you to ship back. So, and then DGGA Premium, which we've talked about. You can kind of see the wall thickness here. It's pretty thick. Your disc is not going to get hurt. You can read the pen so clearly on the back. Those bottom stamps are going to be gorgeous. If you send us a bottom stamp disc, we can probably flip your stickers around. We'll get you. Leave us a note in the disc mold or something. So DGGA Premium for the higher end collectors market.
In premium and in standard, just a reminder, you're shipping us your disc, we're grading it, packaging it, and then shipping it back. For DGGA display, we need a very accurate description of the mold. It's there on the website. It says, here's an example. Be very specific because you're not shipping us your disc for DGGA display. We're just printing off your custom frame, mounting it on the box, and then sending you the box.
That's right. Yeah. Very, very cool. Guys, I'm so happy. We're so excited to bring this to you. I know we look a little bit tired. We've both been working like crazy. Thank you for your patience with the podcast delay, but we should be back now. Our website is up. Our services are live. We're done with our 3 main services. We're excited. We're going to start doing some pop-up shops at disc golf tournaments around our local area. So if you are from Texas, you could catch us at some of those. You can DM us and we'll tell you where we'll be. To save yourself even more on some shipping, we can at least do one of the transactions in person to save you $5.
Yeah.
But that's what we've got. Congratulations, Patrick. We've done it again.
We relaunched.
Hey,
the website is done. We're super excited. It looks very clean. It looks great. We're very, very excited about the premium boxes. Please send me your disc so I can send you a premium box. You really got to see it in person, hold it in your hands. It really makes it look so nice. I mean, I feel like it's what I've been waiting for as a collector. It's how I've been wanting to display my discs. The full acrylic shadow box. I have regular shadow boxes, and they do look nice, but I really like the look of the full acrylic. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's really cool.
All right. So, Patrick, it is the last part of the night now. Guys, we'll be doing Dopest Disc and a mystery box probably in our next podcast. So make sure you're posting online with hashtag Dopest Disc. If you've been posting in between last time and this time, don't worry. Your submissions will still be considered. But it's time for the disc fight.
Let's do it.
Patrick, the one I have is in a box. What? Do you want to go first or second?
Like you haven't opened it?
Oh, no, I've opened it.
Oh.
It's patiently waiting for us to be. No, I don't know what it's waiting for.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go first. You've already seen mine. I don't have any you haven't seen, but I'm going to show the people because it's really cool. So mine is a PDX. I don't know if you can see it. It says Paul McBeth. Macbeth.
Give it a little bit of angle.
Shoop.
Just either way. Yeah, there it is.
So it's a PDX, which is made by Discmania. So there was a brief period of time where Paul Macbeth played for Discmania, and so this is his his world champion, or let's see, sorry, I can't read. 4-time. It's the 4X Macbeth PDX. It's kind of cool. It's a little piece of a tiny bit of disc golf history, and it's graded standard. All right, what you got? Let's see
Chat.
it.
I'm not.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't been
Such a
following.
so much drama.
No.
Such a buildup.
I'm thinking. I just someone in chat that knows more. Fact check Patrick. Is that true?
What?
That PDX? That's from Macbeth playing for Discmania, and not just the fact that Innova was like, didn't they own Discmania at that point?
If I'm wrong, I'll be really embarrassed.
Anywho, so what I have, I don't know if you've seen mine, Patrick, but here is the certificate of authenticity because it's real. Number 193. Do you know what it is already?
Certificate of authenticity. I don't know. What is it?
All right. I got absolutely so lucky. A fully murdered out Chris Dickerson robot chicken.
Whoa.
Black
looks
on
way
black on
nice.
black, sparkles everywhere. This is a premium for sure. Chat, if you've ever stuck a murdered out, a black on black is what that means, disc in a bag, it makes it so hard to see the stamp.
That's awesome.
I'm so hyped to get this one in a premium box. It's beautiful. I had to buy like this massive Chris Dickerson pack, which I'm not mad about. They're all awesome discs. So I have a whole stack of cool Chris Dickerson like limited release products. Came with a shirt that's actually crazy comfortable and stuff. But I did it for that disc. And then the weekend that I got this, we went out to a Pro Tour event, and I was talking to a vendor.
Yeah, get out of the chat, Jacob.
The vendor said, "Oh, I've got some Chris Dickerson robot chicken buzzes," and I was like, "Oh, I've got one." He's like, "Not like this," and he pulled it out and was like, "No, I have one like that. It's at my doorstep right now." It was the day it got delivered. So very high. Thank you, Jacob. I'm pulling out the big gun. So if I lose this one, I don't know what else to do. But
okay, so I did a quick search just to fact check myself. I found a YouTube video that says introducing the Paul Macbeth signature S-Line P2 from 2014.
Yeah.
So he also threw P2s. I'm pretty certain there was a brief time.
Yeah, but you're talking about 4X, dude. You're talking about 4X Macbeth. He didn't leave Innova. I don't think I can be wrong here.
Am I just totally wrong?
Well, doesn't Innova, didn't they manufacture Discmania's discs at that time, right? And then Discmania got their own processing after?
I don't know. I'm frantically Googling.
Anywho, chat, the made-up story that I will tell you, and then one of you will be very disappointed in the comments and tell us all the correct information. I believe that Innova used to do the manufacturing of Discmania discs. But Discmania, now you've got me confused because Discmania does a lot of their stuff in Europe. We'll see what happens. Patrick's going to find it. Patrick's got a weird disc that
it's cool.
I don't know a lot about. But a 4X Macbeth was not playing for anyone except for Innova. So, because he went from Innova at 4X and then to Discraft at 4X and then hit 5X. So
Jacob says you're right. DM was manufactured by Innova.
Yeah, and then I believe they got their own manufacturing facilities recently, like a couple of years ago. And so if you look on the back of a lot of older Discmania discs, you'll see like the Innova embossing stuff. But pretty sure that's all that was. Pretty sure that's just like a crossover disc and not like a different sponsor.
Well, I've never claimed to be an expert on the history of Paul Macbeth.
Still cool. No, me neither. Cool. Macbeth has a long, complicated history. A great history, right? I mean, it's just
fantastic.
Kind of like the Sex and Firebirds. Once there's more than like 4 or 5 years of disc golf lore and it's all just passed down on Facebook pages, you've got to be a little too into it.
Yeah.
But All right. Thank you
Whew.
everyone so much for joining us and riding the long ride of me plugging all of our new products. Please go check them out. Don't forget to use our new code DGGA10 for
That's right.
10% off your
That's
order.
right.
We are selling all of it right now. It's all up, it's all live. So be sure to be really specific in your disc models and molds. What you put for the graded ones is what we will put on the label, unless we think you're incorrect, in which case we'll contact you. And then if you're really, really specific for display, we'll be able to get you a better fit. So check it out. Come on by our website. Don't forget to follow our Instagram and use hashtag dopest disc. And our
That's
next
right.
podcast will have some mystery discs that you can have a chance at winning if you have
Free
the dopest disc of the night.
giveaways.
Thanks so much,
Maybe
guys.
it'll
Have a good
be
night.
something from the old